You're moving to San Antonio, and this is a video that we're going to cover the top 5 reasons you're going to absolutely hate San Antonio, but also the 5 reasons you're going to fall in love with this place. So let's get into that right now. Now, the first thing that you're going to hate about San Antonio is the food. And don't get me wrong, like, the food is really good here, but you know, we don't have a big variety of food. Like, it's either going to be Tex-Mex, it's going to be barbecue, or it's going to be street food. But the reason you're going to hate it is not because there's so little of it, but because there's so much of it. There's just so much food, and it is just so delicious that you're inevitably going to gain weight. That's the part that you're gonna hate. Now, the food, as you're eating it and you're enjoying it, it kind of sneaks up on you. You don't know that you're gaining weight until, oops, your pants don't fit anymore. So you're gonna absolutely love the food, but I'm gonna side with you're gonna hate it even more. Hey, how's it going? My name is Jesse Lopez. I'm the owner of Blue Utopia Realty here in San Antonio, Texas. And I started this channel because I wanted to give all the people moving here information that I wish I would have had when I was moving around in my 23 years of military service. So I know how difficult it is to move somewhere and not know certain things about that area. So that's one of the reasons I'm doing this channel. The second reason is I love San Antonio. I mean, look at this place. This place is just beautiful. Well, I'm not going to get too much into it because I'm going to show you the other 4 things that you're going to absolutely hate about San Antonio. The 4th thing you're going to hate about San Antonio is the bugs. And I say bugs in general because I don't know what it is about Texas, but these bugs are ruthless. They're vicious. It starts off with the mosquitoes that they're like little helicopters flying around, and once they land on you, trust me, they're doing a fuel transfer. And what I mean by that is they're going to suck the living blood out of you, literally. And it didn't stop with the mosquitoes. There's flies. I mean, you've seen some of these horse flies. They're just like some of the biggest flies that you'll ever see. And not only are they big, they're tenacious. They're going to continue to go at you. They're going to pester you. They're going to bother you. And not to mention, you know that most flies live in dung. So imagine you have a fly that's been on a cow patty for the majority of the day, and he comes and lands on your face or on your food or something else. So, and the flies are only another part, but here's the kicker: the roaches. People come here and they're like, oh my God, what is wrong with these roaches? Like, these roaches, not only are they huge, but they can fly. If you can imagine being attacked by a swarm of roaches, because it does happen, yeah, you're gonna, wherever you're from, if there are no bugs, if there are no roaches, and there are no mosquitoes, you might want to just stay there, because in Texas, well, you heard everything else is big in Texas, right? Everything's big in Texas. Well, so are the mosquitoes, the flies, and let's not even talk about the gnats. Gnats are just as big and vicious. The 3rd thing you're going to absolutely hate about San Antonio is the crime and the amount of homelessness. It's pretty sad, but there are a lot of homeless people here, and I guess they come here because it's a great place to live. But it's not uncommon to see, little colonies and little camps around the freeways and under storm drains and just everywhere. And of course, with homelessness comes the crime. And I'm not saying that you're gonna have to look over your shoulder every 2 minutes, but there is some crime that you're gonna have to be careful with. So moving into the wrong part of San Antonio could cost you. So you want to make sure that when you're moving here, you get a hold of somebody that can help you. And that's exactly what you need to do, is just give me a call. My phone number is right here, right there. Give me a call so I can help you find the right area for you and your family where you can avoid some of these homeless and the high-ridden crime in San Antonio. Now, it's not all bad. Like, you don't have to worry about, going out at night, but there are some areas of town that you definitely don't want to be in when the sun goes down, because not even the cops go there. The second thing you're going to absolutely hate about San Antonio is the weather. I mean, look at this. Right now, it is December, and I want to say it's probably about 77, 78 degrees. The weather's beautiful, but if it's 70 degrees in December, what do you think it's going to be like in July and August? Well, you guessed it, 100 plus. So we have gone year over year where we surpass 100-degree weather, or we have 100-degree weather for 100 plus days. And it's horrible. Like, I lived in Arizona and the heat was the heat, but you always hear people say dry heat, and sometimes you just don't really know what they mean. But dry heat is that dry heat. Here in San Antonio, it gets oppressively hot, and coupled with some humidity, oh my goodness, like I cannot wear a shirt in the middle of summer without being wet, because I just sweat profusely because it's just so humid. The good thing about it is when it does get hot, we do have plenty of places where you can go cool down. If you've never been tubing, or if you want to go to one of the amusement parks, Six Flags or SeaWorld, those are some ways that you can actually cool down. And it's kind of hard to cool down as well because we're always in water restrictions. We're in a drought, and I don't see it getting any better anytime soon. But if you don't like the heat, don't come here, because it is oppressively hot. And then the last thing that you're going to absolutely hate about San Antonio, and this is something I will beat this drum till the day I die, are the drivers. I don't know what it is, but I've lived all over the world. I've lived in the Middle East, I've lived in Europe, I've lived, in the States, in the Southeast, I've lived, in the Southwest, I've lived here in Texas, and I have never seen drivers that are as horrible as they are here in San Antonio. Now, it's not all the drivers' faults, right? I always tell my wife this, and she laughs, because I'm like, the Texas Department of Transportation has really got things screwed up. And what do I mean by that? Well, the traffic is pretty bad. Of course, the people add to the complexity of driving in San Antonio. But let me show you an example. When you're driving into the highway, there's an on-ramp, and usually what you do is you accelerate on on-ramps so you can meet the speed of the traffic. However, when you're trying to accelerate, guess what? There's somebody trying to get off because the next exit is coming right up. So you have competing traffic where you're trying to get on the highway and somebody's trying to get off the highway. So now you're fighting with each other, and people have taken it to such extremes that they will literally speed up to keep you from getting into traffic. Or if you speed up, they'll speed up. If you slow down, they'll slow down. Like, it becomes a sadistic game of cat and mouse, and you're gonna absolutely hate it. I hate driving in San Antonio because, first off, the stress, the pressure, but your emotions just get the best of you, because guess what? Somebody's just toying with you, and they're playing with a 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 pound vehicle, trying to keep you from getting to where you need to go. So you're gonna absolutely hate the drivers. Now, don't get me wrong. Once they get out from their car, they're pussycats. They're the nicest people in the world. Now, if those are things that would bother you in moving to San Antonio, then don't move here. This place is not for you. If you don't like bugs that fly, people who play road rash games, or road rage games, not road rash. Road rash is when you hit the ground. But you might, I don't know. If you don't like road rage, if you don't like bugs that fly, you hate to sweat in hot weather, and of course, you don't want to gain weight, then San Antonio is not the place for you. Go live somewhere else. But there is hope. So I saved the best for last, because I just want to make sure that you know up front of all the bad things that you're going to hate about San Antonio before you get here, because one of my favorite sayings is, I told you so. So let's get into the 5 pros of living in San Antonio. The very first thing that you're going to love about living in San Antonio is going to be the cost of living. It is just so cheap to live here, and it's not that cheap, but it's cheaper than in the East Coast, it's cheaper than the West Coast, it's cheaper than almost every other area in the United States. And for what you get, the proximity to things and the opportunities, is just bar none. This cost of living is phenomenal. So right now, just to put things in perspective, it's December 2023 and the gas prices are somewhere around $2.30 a gallon. It's just the way it is. Like, it is not very expensive to live here. I'm actually going to do another video that covers all the things that you would typically buy, you know, to run a home or to live in a location. But I will put a link in the video, or excuse me, a link in the remarks once I get done shooting that one. But know that the cost of living is phenomenal here. Now, if you're a veteran, it's even better. Although I will say, one of the things that people do complain about in San Antonio or in Texas in general is the high property taxes. But remember, we don't have a state income tax, so the government's got to offset that somewhere, and they do it by property taxes. So if you're buying a home and you see your mortgage statement, you're gonna be like, why are taxes so high? Well, congratulations, you bought a home and now you're contributing to the tax rates, right? But again, going back to it, it's very cost effective to live here. Apartments are super cheap, even though they are climbing. But I think everything is climbing in the United States. But your dollar will go further here in San Antonio than it will anywhere else. If you're a veteran and you have a disability rating, then you can get a little bit of relief from those property taxes I'm just talking about. And if you're at 100% disability from the military, the VA, then you don't pay zero. You pay zero taxes. So that's really good. I mean, your mortgage can literally be sliced in half because you don't have to pay property taxes. Now, the next thing that you're gonna love about San Antonio, and I know I just said the drivers were horrible, but you're gonna love the people. Why? Well, even though we're in the edge of the South, that Southern hospitality is real and it's rampant here. Now, people actually come up to you and be like, hey, how are you? And you're like, get away from me. Like, who are you talking to? I've noticed when I lived in other parts of the United States, I lived in the East, and I've lived in other countries, that people don't generally want to talk to you. They want to stay private. They don't want you to bother them. But in San Antonio, people are like, hey neighbor, what's up? I literally have my neighbor, when I moved into my house, I was in the backyard barbecuing, minding my own business, and my neighbor, I can't remember what that show was, but he just pops up over the fence and is like, hey there neighbor, what are you doing? And I felt like telling him, minding my own business, but I didn't. I was like, hey, what's up? And that's just the way people are here. They're very inquisitive, they're very talkative, they want to tell you about their day, they want to ask you how your day is. They'll even pull over on the side of the road and help you change a flat tire if that's what you need. So the people here are super friendly. Don't freak out, because people are going to tell you hi. People are going to want to get in your business and just friend you. So if you don't like friends, or you don't want people to be asking you how you're doing, San Antonio might not be the place for you. The number 3 pro of living in San Antonio is we know how to party. And what do I mean by that? We have this one event every single year that draws millions of people to San Antonio, and that's called Fiesta Week. So during Fiesta Week, it is 10 days of non-stop partying. And it's not just celebrating the Mexican culture, we celebrate the German culture, we celebrate all the different cultures that are in and around San Antonio and in Texas during this 10-day period. I mean, the schools literally give the children a day off for a parade. Like, nobody goes to school, everybody go party, go eat street food, go drink beer, go dance, go, you know, all these things. So there's really a lot of partying. The mentality here is, hey, we like to go, and we like to go hard. And not only is the partying good, but there's so many things to do here because the weather is typically warm most of the year. You can go biking, you can go camping, you can go hiking, you can go on the river tubing. Like, there's always something to do. It reminds me of one of the tours that I did was in Germany, and I met this couple, and they were just so upset about being in Germany. And I asked them, I said, "What have you done?" And they looked at me and said, "Nothing." And I was like, "Oh my God, like, are you kidding me?" Like, I went to a castle my first weekend, I went to vineyards, I went all over Europe, and that's the same thing here in San Antonio. If you come to San Antonio and you think this place sucks, it's because you're not doing it right. So if you need help, you want to know where the party spots are, you want to know where the festivals are, you want to know when the events are going to happen, do me a favor, get a hold of me. Let's talk. Let me give you the 411 so you know exactly what to expect and where to go. That way you'll love San Antonio. So the number 2 thing that you're absolutely going to love about San Antonio is the entertainment and activities. There's always something to do. Right now I'm sitting at the Pearl, and people are behind me. They're touring the area. There's a ice hockey rink right down. It's 70 degrees, and there's an ice hockey rink next door or the next block over. There used to be a pumpkin patch there. We're right downtown, so you can go on the river walk, you can go out to one of the local lakes, you can go fishing, not to mention that the coast is only an hour and a half away. You can go to Corpus Christi. I love going there to go shore fishing, so my son and I, you'll find us out there most weekends, fishing for either red drums or pompano, or those kinds of fish. But if there's anything that you can do or you can imagine, you're going to find it here in San Antonio. Right to the north of us, we have vineyards where you can go to the wineries and go drink wine and tour the hill country. Like, it's just, there's so many things to do here in San Antonio that you will never be bored unless you don't leave your home. If you don't leave your home, then of course you're going to hate this place. So do me a favor, leave your home. Go out and explore. If you need to know where all the things are, what's happening, what's hopping, do me a favor, give me a call, and I'll get you straight. And then the last thing that you're gonna love, number 1 thing you're gonna love about San Antonio, is the food again. Now, I know I told you you're gonna hate the food, but I didn't really mean you're gonna hate the food. I think you're gonna hate what the food's gonna do to you if you don't have a workout plan, if you don't go out and exercise, if you don't enjoy this beautiful weather and get outdoors, run and jog and just walk. I mean, you don't have to do high strenuous activities. You just need to get out and do something. But the food, it's phenomenal. Barbecue, oh my goodness. There are so many barbecue places. Hell, I make great barbecue. You can find me in my backyard most of the time smoking either a turkey, smoking ribs, smoking brisket. It's just, the food is just so delicious here. There's not a big variety, so if you are into another cuisine, but I will tell you, if you like meat and potatoes, you're in the right place, because there's a lot of German influence, there's a lot of Tex-Mex influence, and of course the good old Texas cowboy. We barbecue, we love it, we eat it every weekend, we watch football. I mean, that's just the way we live. So you're gonna love the food. Not only barbecue, but I did say Tex-Mex. The Mexican food here is a Tex-Mex mixture, so it's a little bit different than things that you've eaten either in California or Arizona or even Florida. Like, I was stationed in Florida in Tampa, and the Mexican food there just sucked, because I was just used to being here in San Antonio. It is just so filling, it's just so savory, and I mean, you just can't get enough of it. You'll see when you get here. I can't wait for you to move to San Antonio. I can't wait to meet you. And before you even get here, do me a favor. If you need help, give me a call, and I would love to show you the different areas of town. As a matter of fact, there's a video right up here that I'm going to put about it's going to be a map video where you can see the different areas of San Antonio from a 30,000 foot view. I'll show you the different neighborhoods, I'll show you the different traffic patterns, I'll show you the areas that are not so safe after dark. I'm going to show you as much information as I possibly can. Do me a favor, if that's the kind of information that you want and you're still sticking around watching my video, hit the subscribe button. leave me a comment, give me a thumbs up, give me a like. That way it helps my algorithm, and this video and others that I put out get pushed to people like you that are moving to San Antonio. Again, you're gonna hate San Antonio if you don't like flying bugs, if you don't like the heat, if you don't like people that play road rage. You're gonna probably hate San Antonio. So do me a favor, don't move here. But if all the other things that I talked about outweigh the bad things, then I'd love to help you. Again, give me a call. I can't wait to meet you, and all right, we'll see you on the next video.